everybody, happy new year, and we look forward to an exciting, productive, and of course a year filled with a lot of money, because your energy cannot go waste. Welcome to the Ghanaian Farmer channel. My name is Enyona Manye. If this is your first time on my channel, please feel comfortable at home, subscribe, and just go through the videos one after the other. There's a lot to learn, especially for new farmers who are looking forward to investing in agriculture this year. Now, I love you, I care about you, and I know a lot of you are excited, you are enthused about becoming farmers. Now, these are some top tips, some very dangerous tips that if you don't put into perspective, if you don't work on them and you go into the agriculture space, you might end up not succeeding like you were hoping or thinking to succeed. And so I don't want you to make these mistakes that you've made in 2024, and that's why I'm coming to share with you. Number one is avoid starting a farm without a plan. Yes, without a plan. You need to make sure you put pen on paper and write down a plan that will guide you through the farming journey or the farming process. In Ghana, we have two farming seasons, as you all know. The major season that would likely to start somewhere in March, April, and then the second season that will start somewhere in August, September, all the way to November or December, and then we shut down and start all over again. So it is very important that someone who is starting a farm, you need to have a plan. So first, make sure that you do not start the season without a plan. Number two is avoid starting farming without basic infrastructures. Basic infrastructures are mainly if you go to buy a land or even lease the land. Infrastructure like where your crew or your workers will sleep. So you need a building. It can be a wooden structure, it can be a full block house, it can be a mud house, but avoid starting a farm where you need workers to move from their house to go and stay on the farm without having a farmhouse. And make sure you have somewhere, a place of convenience where they can bath, where they can cook, where they can, do all these things. A place of convenience, it has to be there as part of the infrastructure. Avoid going into farming, that's point number three, without a source of water. So a lot of people like to gamble with farming. And farming is very expensive. I saw someone saying recently, farming is for millionaires now. If you don't have money, don't try it. Avoid going into farming 2025 without water source. Water source is those of you who are lucky to have your land in the water region, close to the water lake, good for you. Because right now it seems that's the only place where we have clean water for farming in Ghana. All the other waters are polluted, polluted with illegal mining. So avoid going into farming without water. So if your land is not in the water region, do not go into farming without a borehole. Borehole is expensive, 20,000 plus, but it is worth it. It will save you a lot of headache. Remember what happened to Wadasege when we invested in 45 acres of sweet potatoes and we lost a chunk of the production because the rains didn't come. When we needed the rains to apply fertilizers and other things, the rain didn't come. The potatoes came but were very small. A lot of them got infected with rats and mouse and all that. So please, without water source, avoid going into farming. Don't gamble. Point number four, avoid buying poor quality seed. A lot of farmers like cheap things. Okay? Now, if you want high yield, you want quality vegetables like you're seeing here, it is very important that you buy very high quality seed. Don't just walk to any shop and buy seed. Make sure you buy seed that are of high quality. If you want to have this lettuce, it means that you need to buy a seed that is of high quality, high standard, so that you can be able to get these lettuce that we are seeing right here. So that's point number four. Point number five, avoid not learning or knowing how to control pest and disease on the farm. So days ago, someone called me that, hey, I have beans to sell. And I asked, okay, what variety of beans do you have? He says, you know what, let me call my workers, I don't know. How can you go into farming? How can you be a farmer and not know the variety of crop you are producing, not knowing the breed of livestock you have on your farm? I mean, how? It is not acceptable. It means that anything can be thrown at you and you accept it or you consume it. Yes, I do not have an agronomist background, but what you can do in 2025 is that the 2 or 3 workers you'll be having on your farm, let one person be a specialist. It could be a veterinary doctor, that is if you're into animal farming, but if it's crop farming, have someone who have a fair idea of crop farming, how to deal with pests, how to identify symptoms of disease attacking the farm, and how to control it. Because in the absence of that, you are heading to doom. Your farm will lose and you lose a lot of money. So avoid not knowing how to control your pests. Now, another key point that you need to take into consideration, avoiding so that you will not lose a lot of money, is that avoid going into farming this year without a planned budget, a pre-planned budget. Budget saves you a lot of cost. So if you are leasing the land, how much is it going to cost me? If you are going to plow the land, by now you should be around the community, contacting the tractor owners and finding out from them how much does it cost to plow land, and they'll be able to tell you, okay, this is how much it costs, this is how much it would cost you. So make sure that your workers, how much are you going to be paying them? You should know that this is how much it will be costing me to pay my workers, so that at the end of the day you would be able to do a very good budget. Even you might ask, how much would it be costing to sell a bag of maize or bag of this in the next year? You can do this pre-planned budget and will guide you. Do not go into farming 2025 without pre-planned budget. It's very, very important. Avoid planting late. That's point number 7 or 6. Avoid planting late. As I said, make sure wherever you find yourself, you go to the agriculture office and find out from them what the meteorological agency is saying about rainfall this year. Last year, rainfall was very bad. And so this year, we don't know how the rainfall is going to be because of the climate change. It is not a Ghanaian thing, it's a global thing. So do not plant late. And you can only know that if you go close to the agric office or the meteorological people to find out when is the rain starting. When is the best time for me to plant my okra, my pepper, my tomato, my onion? You should ask these questions so that you will not plant late or you won't plant early and then you would lose out, or you would, expose your plant to hard weather. As I'm speaking, the weather in Ghana is very terrible, very hot. I'm sweating. It's very hot. So make sure that you do not plant late. And that can only happen if you go to the right people to go and ask them. And the last and final tip that you need to avoid is, in every farm or in every kind of crop you are planting, there are appropriate distancing that you need to know. You see, in the absence of not knowing the plant population, or in the absence of not knowing the right distance to give, you might either plant limited crops on your 1 acre, or you might plant more. When you overplant, it worries, air penetration and everything. And when you plant less, it would go against your harvest. So you might harvest and you won't get the projected number of sacks, kilos, or tons of crops you are looking for. So what I would advise is that avoid going into farming without knowing the right space in between the crop you are producing. This is the Ghanaian farmer. My name is Anyona Manye, and wherever you find yourself, you are in for a long haul for this year. Because you know what? Beyond the farming, now we have a studio. We'll be running a live streaming program. We have a lot of exciting packages for you this year. And so just stay glued to this channel and a lot more will be coming your way. But if you put into practice these 7 or 8 tips I've shared with you, I tell you what, you are in for some successful farming, journey this year. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.